The sky over Earth split with a shimmer of light that no human eye had seen before. In the midst of the clouds, a fleet appeared. Vast, impossibly massive, ships shaped like elongated crowns of light and metal. Humanity had long dreamed of first contact, but this was nothing like anyone had imagined. Panic swept the globe as governments scrambled. Scientists calculated escape plans, and civilians stared at the sky in awe and fear. A transmission broke through every broadcast channel at once, the voice of the Alien Empress. It was both melodic and terrifying, a tone that seemed to vibrate in the mind as much as the ears. I am Arindra, Empress of the Sttorie Dominion. I seek a pet to entertain my curiosity. Let your species prove worthy. Her words were not a threat, they were a challenge. Most civilizations she had conquered had bowed immediately. Planets became toys, their leaders puppets, their people spectacles. But humans had never faced a truly equal force. The Empress assumed they would be no different. On Earth, chaos and fascination collided. Military councils convened, the United Nations was paralyzed, and ordinary people reacted in ways she could not predict. Children laughed at the strange patterns of light in the sky, poets wrote odes about the shimmering crown of stars, and engineers secretly plotted how to send messages that might intrigue rather than intimidate. The Empress observed from her flagship, a cathedral of golden light suspended in orbit. She was humanoid in appearance, but alien in every way that mattered. Her skin shimmered like molten gold, her eyes reflected stars, and her robes moved as though alive. Yet her fascination with humanity grew with every observation. Unlike the creatures of her previous conquests, humans were unpredictable. They laughed, debated, and defied fear with stubborn courage. Curious, she murmured to her advisors. This species does not cower. It does not beg. Perhaps it is worthy of more than amusement. Her curiosity was the spark that would ignite the events to come. The humans chosen to meet the Empress were a small, diverse team. Dr. Amina Patel, a physicist whose work on quantum communications was unmatched, Captain Elias Reyes, a tactician who had survived wars humanity barely remembered, Lyra Chin, an artist and storyteller whose work captured the soul of human emotion, and Dr. Malik Ibrahim, a philosopher who understood negotiation, morality, and human psychology better than anyone. When the Empress descended, her presence was overwhelming. She walked with a grace that seemed to bend the air around her, her gaze scanning the humans as one might inspect a curious insect, or perhaps a rare jewel. I expected fear, she said, voice echoing in the chamber of the flagship. But I see courage and defiance. Fascinating. She put the humans through a series of tests, strategic simulations, riddles of logic, challenges of creativity. Where other species would have bent under pressure, humans adapted. When presented with an impossible scenario, they argued, debated, and improvised in ways the Empress had never seen. Lyra painted a scene that captured the absurdity of war and the beauty of hope. Amina proposed a quantum solution that even the Sttorie engineers had overlooked. The Empress was captivated. Each success, each clever turn of thought, challenged her assumptions. No one had ever approached her empire as an equal. She had expected obedience, even terror, but humanity offered wit, courage, and spirit. Perhaps, she thought, they are not a pet to be owned, but something far more dangerous and delightful. Something equal. The humans, meanwhile, refused to grovel. They spoke with confidence, humor, and even stubbornness. Their courage was not reckless. It was rooted in principles, in unity, and in the hope that the universe could be shared rather than dominated. The Empress advisors whispered nervously, "They are not like any species we have conquered." And indeed, they were not. Time passed. What had begun as a test became collaboration. The Empress walked among humans in their cities, attended their debates, watched their scientists experiment, and marveled at their art. She began to see them as more than subjects or curiosities. They were equal minds, equal spirits. When a rogue fleet from a neighboring star system threatened both Earth and the Sttorie Dominion, the humans and the Empress had to act together. The crisis demanded ingenuity and coordination. Captain Reyes devised a defensive maneuver. Amina calculated trajectories that even Lithari engines had not considered, and Lyra created a psychological ruse to mislead the enemy fleet. The Empress, for the first time, fought alongside humans not as a ruler commanding subjects, but as a partner relying on equals. And in this shared struggle, trust and respect flourished. She saw how humans balance strength with empathy, logic with creativity, humor with courage. They could laugh in the face of fear, sacrifice for others, and remain stubbornly principled even when the odds were impossible. They were unlike anything her empire had ever encountered. "I sought a pet," she admitted silently, "but I have found an equal. A species that challenges, intrigues, and enriches me." Humans, in turn, recognized the complexity of the Empress. She was not merely a conqueror. They saw her intelligence, her discipline, her curiosity, and even the loneliness of her eternal reign. Respect and understanding grew on both sides. The final test came not from games or riddles, but from survival. The rogue fleet attacked, threatening annihilation. Humans and the Empress combined their strengths, science, strategy, art, and sheer determination to turn the tide. Each decision mattered. Each human action saved lives. Each Lithari maneuver ensured victory. When the dust settled, the Empress addressed her empire. Her voice rang with authority. "Humans are not her pets. They are not subjects. They are equals. They have proven their worth, their courage, and their mind. From this day forward, they shall stand beside us, not beneath us." Across Earth, across the Lithari Dominion, awe and celebration spread. Humanity had not been subjugated. They had earned respect through intellect, courage, and spirit. The Empress departed, leaving gifts of knowledge, technology, and trust. Humanity looked to the stars with newfound confidence. They had faced the empire of the Lithari Empress and stood not as a prey, but as a force of equals. And somewhere in the vastness of space, the Empress smiled, thinking not of a pet, but of a partnership, an alliance born not of fear, but of mutual respect and curiosity. Humanity had given her what she never expected, not obedience, not submission, but equality.